I'm Katie, and this is the story of how I discovered that the creepiest things don't always live outside your home. Sometimes they live right next door. I had just moved into a new apartment building. It was one of those places that seemed a little too good to be true cheap rent. A decent view of the city, and a landlord who was just suspiciously friendly. Everything was going perfectly fine for the first few weeks. That is, until I met my neighbor in 6B.
Well, sort of met him. He never came out during the day. Ever. Only at night.
Like clockwork, around 3 a.m., I'd be woken up by the sounds next door. Footsteps, a slow, heavy shuffling from one end of the apartment to the other.
Then came the whispers, faint and scratchy, seeping through the shared air vent in my bedroom. And the music.
It was always the same song. A scratchy, warped, and unsettlingly slow version of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, playing on a loop. I know, right?
It already sounds like the opening scene of a horror movie, and I was living it.
For a while, I tried to ignore it. Maybe he was an artist, or just a night owl with very strange taste in music. But one night, curiosity finally got the better of me. I decided to be the friendly new neighbor. I scribbled a quick, cheerful note on a piece of paper. Hey neighbor, I'm Katie. Just wanted to say hi. I tiptoed out into the silent hallway and slid it under his door. I stood there for a moment, listening, but heard nothing. I shrugged and went back to my apartment, feeling a little silly but also a bit proud of my bravery. The next morning, as I was leaving for work, I saw it. The note. It was slipped back under my own door. It was the same piece of paper, and I even recognized my own smiley face. But underneath my message, a reply had been scrawled in shaky, spidery handwriting. It didn't say hello back. It didn't ask how I was. All it said was, "Don't listen to the walls." I laughed it off at first. What a weirdo. It had to be a joke, right? Some kind of prank on the new girl. But my laughter died in my throat later that night because the walls started whispering. At first, I told myself it was just the old building settling, the pipes groaning. It was an old place, after all. But then, I heard it clearly. My name. Over and over again. A faint, raspy whisper that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. Katie, ... Katie, ... It was a sound that crawled under my skin and stayed there. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't think straight. The constant, faint whispering of my name became the soundtrack to my life. I tried everything. I taped the vents shut with duct tape. I bought noise-canceling headphones and slept with them blasting white noise. But nothing worked. I could still hear it. A phantom sound in the back of my mind. So, I did what every dumb character in every horror movie does. I decided to confront the source. I marched over to apartment 6B, my heart pounding in my chest, and I knocked. No answer. I knocked again, louder this time. Silence. But then, with a slow, agonizing groan, the door creaked open on its own. It was unlocked. I pushed it open and peered inside. The apartment was nothing. It was completely empty. No furniture. No bed. No lights. Just mirrors covering every single wall, from the floor to the ceiling. They reflected the dim hallway light into a dizzying, endless maze. And right in the center of the bare floor sat a small, dusty tape recorder.
As I watched, it clicked on, and that haunting melody began to play.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Then, I heard footsteps. Right behind me. I spun around, my blood running cold, but there was no one in the hallway.
I ran back into my apartment, slammed the door, and locked it. My hands shaking so hard I could barely fit the key in the deadbolt.
I grabbed my phone and frantically called the landlord. When he finally answered, he just sounded confused. Katie, what are you talking about? He asked. There's no one in 6B. It's been empty for years. I moved out the very next morning.
I didn't even pack properly. Just threw my things in boxers and left.
But sometimes, Jess, sometimes late at night when the house is quiet, I still hear that song. A faint, distant echo, as if carried on the wind, or
Through that.
And I swear, when I look into the mirror a little too long, I see him watching. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If you enjoy creepy content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you do unmiss what's coming next. Stay safe out there!